After the Walt Disney Company announced their new streaming service Venu, which is a partnership between Fox and Warner Brothers, Fubo, a streamer that is now partnered with Disney, originally came out and sued them. How is Fubo partnered with them? Well, as part of the settlement with those companies, Disney announced that they were merging with that smaller company, and it also happens to get rid of competition. Monopoly. Well, it seems that after that lawsuit went away, DirecTV said, no, we're going to sue you too, and now Venu is no more. However, there's a lawsuit coming from the most unlikeliest of places. One single guy is trying to stop the Fubo plus Hulu with live TV merger. Let's talk about it on That Park Place. Hello, this is Jonas J. Campbell from That Park Place, and here with me is television viewer, Mr. VashSky. Vash, you want to talk about TV today?
Oh, absolutely I do, because this story is so fascinating to me. The lawsuits, Jonas, the people who have been, they feel that they've been aggrieved by this whole thing, this JV at Disney engaged in. Boy, oh boy, very interesting.
You know, and you could say that a lot of it ended up stemming from the fact that Netflix was successful at something that maybe they shouldn't have been successful at. Back in the day, just for being first to market. Then Disney said, you know what, we got to get us some of that. And NBC, Warner Brothers, all of them said, you know what, we got to get us some of that. And then Fox, which was bought by Disney. And now they're saying, hey, we need sports on streaming. Well, here's where things are right now before we get into the juicy thing. How an investor lawsuit destroyed Disney's Venu joint venture and elevated DirecTV. This is from CC Campione over there from That Park Place. I highly recommend that you go and check out this very cultured person's article here. This is talking about the final history of Venu before we get to what is the thing that I find completely hilarious about this situation. So sports broadcasting has seen industry shaking developments recently, creating a landscape filled with both challenges and opportunities. The collapse of Disney's Venu joint venture and the subsequent antitrust lawsuit involving a Fubo subscriber, there's the juicy part, we'll get to it more, have sent shockwaves through one of television's last powerhouse industries, DirecTV. Okay. For those of you not aware, Venu Sports was going to be a joint venture between Fox, what's actual Fox, not the part of Fox that Disney bought and then took the Fox name off of it. So that Fox, Disney, and Warner Brothers. So with that, you have ESPN and also the Warner Brothers, which is TNT, TBS. Venu was going to be $43 a month. And after the Fubo lawsuit went away because Disney announced that they were buying out Fubo and they are planning to merge Fubo with hulu with live TV, which Disney does not completely own yet. They just have full control over it. They're going to merge those two services together and happen to eliminate competition, and also makes this lawsuit go away in what could be perceived as monopolistic behavior, could be perceived as that. Well, DirecTV had a problem with it. Why? Because DirecTV, now that Disney has announced that Venu is going away, has said, oh, here's something very similar to Venu that they're going to be offering for $70 a month. And it has a lot of those channels, but not all the other channels. So this is just sports or a focus on sports. Oh, look, they got CNBC. That's not bad. I like that channel. But is also $13 shy of a full YouTube TV subscription at this point. So I don't know. Vash, $43, $70, $83. Do you think this is going to pull in customers?
No, I don't think so. I'm not confident that this is going to do much of anything there. The price is just way too high. And look, maybe you can get some hardcore sports fans on board something like this, but how are you going to prevent churn when maybe their favorite sport isn't actually running? There's a lot of open questions for something like this, and I mean, we're getting back to essentially cable pricing with this. I'm just not seeing it.
I don't see it either. I'm not a sports fan. I do have a YouTube TV subscription. Maybe it's shared with other people. Who knows? Splitting that price is so important in these economically struggling times here. But this is not the focus of why we're here today, although DirecTV does have a very good point. They could be charging this much for the service, and Disney sabotages that by essentially putting Venu into the market. Also, it gets a little weird. It starts to look like all of those companies are working together. Instead of selling those channels to anyone who will buy them, they could work in concert to price fix if they were unscrupulous, of course. But here's the funny thing that we want to talk about. This out of the Hollywood Reporter: Venu fallout, Disney hit with antitrust lawsuit from fubo subscriber. That is the singular right there. One guy is stopping this whole thing here. The lawsuit claims that Disney's ownership of ESPN enables it to extract monopoly rents, and the company imposes anti-competitive terms on rivals. This by Winston Cho. There's a picture of a guy. I think it's Joey Bosa from the Los Angeles Chargers, or maybe it's not. I don't know. That's the guy on the right. CJ Stroud is the Houston Texan. In the wake of Disney abandoning sports-focused streaming service Venu, the entertainment giant has been sued for alleged antitrust violations related to its dual role as a content supplier and distributor in business dealings. A fubo subscriber, in a proposed class action filed in New York federal court on Tuesday, claims Disney's ownership of ESPN enables it to extract monopoly rents in the streaming live pay TV market by forcing services to carry non-ESPN content to access the sports channel, which must be included as part of the cheapest package for some consumers. This is a charge that's been leveled against Disney for years. These anti-competitive tactics restrain competition from rivals to Disney's Hulu in the SLP TV market and force independent streaming services such as Fubo to charge higher prices to their customers than they would in a free market, states the complaint. On Friday, Disney, and this is an old article, Disney, Warner Brothers, and Discovery, and Fox Corp said Venu will not move forward. It followed Disney unveiling plans to merge hulu+live TV service with the competitor Fubo in what will be the second biggest MVPD after YouTube TV. But by that point, the legality of Disney's bundling requirements were already undercut. In its order temporarily blocking the release of Venu, the court stated that bundling had been uniformly and systematically opposed on each distributor in the live pay TV industry, except the JV, preventing any other distributor from offering a multi-channel sports-focused streaming service. That's not the part we really want to focus on here. And forgive me for the what may not be as easy to comprehend as one guy reads it on the internet here. The funny thing to me is that a single subscriber said, "Hey, that's not right." This is also something that pretty much every carriage dispute, which is when like Comcast, who's a cable provider, has an argument with Disney about bundling. This is what it's all about. Also, Spectrum Charter, they had a very large argument with the Disney company in their last carriage dispute where all of these channels went dark, and Disney had 18 channels that they offered going in and only offered 10 channels after that carriage dispute was done, but also ended up offering Disney Plus, which, you know, you look at Disney Plus, it's still not quite that profitable. They are technically making money now there, but we won't get into that. So the unbundling of channels is something that Disney has avoided for a very long time. So I think this is fascinating that a single subscriber to Fubo might be able to come in and say, hey, that's not right. Vash, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think it's unbelievably interesting because, and here's the thing about what is it, Cole Unger, if I'm not mistaken, who was seeking this lawsuit here. He's also seeking class action status. So right now he might be alone, but hey, maybe other people can join in on the fun here and see if the Southern District of New York will actually provide relief against Disney and Fubo. Very, very interesting. I would like to see a little bit of an uncoupling here. I do think, you know, the Fubo, getting involved in the way that they have been. I understand there's going to be a large payout by Disney in order to make this, you know, possible and everything like that. We've covered that before, but these, you know, large providers getting together like this, I'm just not comfortable with it, Jonas. I don't like it. So I do kind of see where Cole's kind of coming here from this because he's echoing a lot of the same reservations that we've had on this channel and in other venues.
Yep. And speaking of Venu, of course, the other thing that I want to add in here is Bob Chapek has even said that he sees the future of ESPN as having even fewer customers. In the only interview that he did, well, he might have done some since then, but his first interview after he left the CEO position, by the way, before his stock had vested, Bob Chapek told CNBC that the normies would not pay the price that they need for ESPN in order to make it profitable. This comes from the fact that when Disney bundles all of these together, essentially you get the people who are interested in Disney Channel and the people who are supposedly the people who are interested in baby TV, which I think has officially gone away, to get them to also subsidize the price of ESPN and that I think 10, it's either 8 or 10 channels that are ESPN right now, which is the only way that Disney can actually afford to pay for all this content, is because they have everything going on every single channel, which makes the app make much more sense because you can have as many games as you want on the app at a singular time. Anyways, Bob Chapek said in that so those medium to mid-level users, those are also going to be priced out because the amount that they're going to have to charge for it will also say, no, not really going to do that. So ESPN will have to be subsidized directly by that 1/3 of users that are quote unquote heavy users, the kind of people who can justify whatever price it is that they're working on. And that $50 price point is a lot closer to what they were getting in the past. So the rumor going around, and it was like $9.50 the last time that we got a confirmed carriage dispute document that said that ESPN was priced at $9.50 per subscriber. $30 is probably what we would go based off of Bob Chapek's math, not accounting for the fact that ESPN flagship, which has yet to premiere, that they're going to try to get just as much money from that as they would from selling to a cable operator, but also there's still going to be ads on it, and they want it to look like a premium product. So $50 to $70, I'm going to say, let's say $50 for ESPN flagship. That's my guess at how much they want to charge for this. So no wonder this fubo subscriber here is like, hey, that's not right. Also, have to point out that class action thing. That's a 3D chess move right there, because that means that he has the power to sue not just for the $100 a month that he is being ripped off on his cable subscription. Vash, what do you think the fallout from a lawsuit like this is going to be? I know you're not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I like to pay attention to what goes on with Disney lawsuits, but what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I don't know if it'll stop the practice completely of these of consolidation in this space, but I mean, perhaps there might be some transparency, or I don't know, a notification for your subscribers that something like this is happening. So adjustments will be taking place, and maybe a slow gradation, let's say, into a combined service that maybe people didn't intend on buying when they engaged in one of these services. So I think it's better for the consumer. I just don't think it'll alleviate all of our concerns. Lastly here, the plaintiff and the class members, which hasn't been granted the class action status yet, but they seek all forms of available relief under the statute, including actual damages, treble damages, and reasonable costs and attorney's fees. We'll have to keep an eye on this one and see if it is accepted by the court. Court could just say, hey, you know what? This is all hat. Or strike it down for any reason. I hope they don't. I hope this does get some relief in court, but we'll see.
Yep, it'll be interesting to see whether or not this bizarre little merger between Fubo and Hulu with live TV will actually happen. Run by Fubo with a board from Disney. That is, it sounds like Disney would actually be running this thing. Fascinating to me. But if you have any thoughts on all of this, let us know in the comment section down below. If you found this helpful in any way, of course, hit the like button. And if you haven't done it yet, consider subscribing to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.